This is the intro to my video. Please subscribe. Woo! Welcome to Resin Crafting with Chris Collected. Today's episode is the beginning of a little mini series where it is Halloween month and I want a candy dish. And so this is going to be my new candy dish. My neighborhood does not have a lot of children. This is actually supposed to be a planter, so that is the base of it. And then also want to do something fun that I did it in my unboxing life is my new Mickey Mouse. This is the Ecto Green from Stewart Simple. Now we're going to be using our Resiner's resin still and doing our classic 100 in each for a total of 400 mils. 100 of part A and 100 of part B. Now that we have that poured out, I want to do a little experiment for today. So what I'm going to be doing is putting a heavy amount of this orange glow-in-the-dark powder into one of them, and I want to do that before I have stirred it up. So this is still, part one, part two have not been mixed. So I want to try that today, and then the other one, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait and then put the color in afterwards. I did want to move a little bit around just so it a little bit sunk in. I've had it before where most of it just sticks to the paddle. So I'm like, okay, I knew I had to mix it a little bit. So let's see what happens. I had a little bit of trouble today with it spinning on its own, but that's okay. As you can see, the color mixed really nice. So now I'm going to add in the Ecto Orange into the one that's already mixed. I'm going to do a lot less of this one, though. That way we can see if there was any actual difference. All right, look at that final mix going, and then we're going to put it into the vacuum chamber. I saw that Let's Resin has a brand new one, so hopefully for Christmas, that'll be a little present for me. And all done. Now, as you can see, the one on the right was still full of bubbles, even after a while, and so I don't think I'm going to put in that much powder. I think it was just too much powder and created too many little bubbles. But let's get to pouring. First up, we're going to do the Mickey Mouse ears, and I decided to do this one kind of a half and half. Next up, let's get our candy dish done. Well, I did notice when I moved it that I needed to be topped up just a little. Now for this one, we're just going to go for a straight dump. I had already put rubbing alcohol into it, so hopefully it will have less bubbles. Decided to scrape everything out of that little dish. Next up, let's finish the lighter one. I got real lucky. It seems like that was the perfect size. One more thing that I wanted to add in, I wanted this pot to look almost like it was rusty or something, and so the idea was I was going to drop these drops in and see if I couldn't get it to, look like it was like crusty or something on the bottom. Ended up not really working out. I think I would have to put a lot more of this because it just kind of blended in too much. Maybe if I had done some black drops or something too, that would have worked. And see, what I'm doing is just plunging them down the side so that way it would almost look like it's, been corroding over time. And while it looks good on this video, it eventually mellowed out so much you couldn't really tell. But it was a good idea, and I will be doing a little mini-series here about 2 or 3 episodes on this little candy dish. So make sure to stay subscribed. Of course, last week I did put these hollows into it, and so this week I decided to do that again. We're going to start with a skull and crossbones right in the center, along with some big bats. A bunch of little witches and other little various spooky things. I also wanted to put the silver hollow as well. And that one I mostly focused on the bats. Now let's spend some time and move everything around. I wanted it to look random, but also full. So I spent a little time moving everything around. As you can see, once they hit that resin, they absolutely clump up pretty easy. But, you know, take a little stir stick like this and it'll move them around. I was just going to add a few more there, but the whole thing tipped out. As you can see, it took a little while to get everything there, but it's looking really good now. Make sure to stay tuned for the demolding. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the demolding. All right, first up, let's demold this Mickey Mouse ears. This is the second hollow that I have, and I think this one works way better than the first one. Doesn't it look so cool? So that came out perfect, and you see the two colors just kind of mellowed out. I was thinking I was going to get my water out for this one, but it actually demolded really easy. Well, easy enough. Now let's get a good look at it. So the skull and crossbones is exactly where I wanted it. I wanted it basically in the center. It is one of those cheaper ones, and so it did dissolve a little bit. And you can see the rust on it just wasn't enough rust, right? I should have done 4 or 5 more amount of those drops, and it really would have shown that it's crusty, you know? I wanted to look at kind of like a cauldron of like, what's in there? But of course it's candy. And this is glow in the dark orange, so that would actually glow in the outside. Thank you so much. My name is Chris Collectin. I do rug tufting, resin crafting, and sewing, and so much more. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.